So it's pretty exciting. It's kind of fun. You feel a little bit like a mix of adventurer and bootlegger or smuggler, out there with these bags of hops that you're loading into airplane or a small little airport in a remote part of Colorado, and flying them back to the brewery for whatever clandestine purposes we have in mind. I found out about Rising Sun Farms through some professional contacts. There was a young lady working on her master's thesis at CSU on the viability of a hop industry in Colorado, and Glenn was one of the early adopters of that philosophy, if you will.
Hear the crinkle? You gotta pull it apart. Rub your thumb in there. Sniff it. That's how you know it's good.
You break open the hop, you inspect the lupulin. I can get a general idea of how much is in there. I've seen hops that aren't as dense with lupulin as opposed to ones that are, so I have a pretty good idea what to do there. And then, of course, you do a rub. You grind it between your hands, generate some heat, get those volatiles airborne, and smell them. And if you like it, you like it. That's really what it boils down to.
Such dirty, disgusting hands.
Yeah.
Smile.
It's pretty exciting and pretty tough work. Obviously it's hot. The bines have sharp points on them, so you're easily exposed at that level. But we get up in the morning, we go out and select the rows that we want to pull from, begin to cut the bottoms of the plants, and then go through with the tractor and a trailer and cut the tops and stack the bines on the trailer on top of a tarp. We bring that up to the wolf picker. We unload the tarp onto the feeding deck for the wolf picker and then feed the hops in. The wolf picker very conveniently removes the cones from the rest of the plant and dumps them out into a bag that we then weigh, and we have to harvest 1,000 pounds to have enough for the beer. I really love to get out, get dirty, and harvest hops. It's fun. It's hard work, but it's rewarding, and it's one of those things where you can kind of look at a big pile of hops and say, I did that today. I like the whole adventure of driving out and being on a timetable, and the kind of excitement that comes from that. Where you have to get these supplies to the brewery in order to do what we want to do. And usually within 2 or 3 hours, I have enough hops to fill the airplanes, and I can get them to the airport. Those guys will take off from the Paonia airport and get them back here to the brewery in about an hour, and then we're able to start brewing. It's usually enough to get 2 or 3 batches in, which buys me the time to get back with the van load of hops afterwards in time for the brews that would require the hops that I was carrying. The difference between a wet hopped beer, or a fresh hopped beer, and regular beer is the use of wet or unprocessed hops fresh off the vine. So the idea there is to have the lupulin gland, which holds all the active ingredients in hops that are responsible for aroma and flavor, still intact and not broken open, not exposed to the atmosphere. And then, of course, to get the hops to the kettles, the brew kettles, as quickly as possible from the time you pick it. And of course, when the beer's all done, it tastes great, and that's awesome too.